Stay at home on 9 to 5, raising your babies with joy and pride. A real ass mom, you're a real ass mom. Taking care of business, ooh girl, you're resilient, 'cause you're a real ass mom, a real ass mom.
Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
I'm your host, Devin.
And I'm your host, Kendra.
We are real moms.
Sharing real experiences. The things people don't
Hey, Mama.
tell you.
Hey, how are you, friend?
I'm well. How are you?
I am good. I cannot complain. It's been a good week.
All right. Well, that's
So,
good.
We'll see how it ends, but it's been good. I can't complain.
We're going to be positive and optimistic. Well,
Yeah.
first, I guess we should introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
If this is your first time listening, I'm your host, Kendra.
And I'm your host, Devin. Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah, so we have a guest today, and I'm super excited about this guest. Her name is Chloe, and she is like top notch when you think of PR, okay? I mean, you think of PR, you see Chloe, okay? First of all, she's so cute, always fly. Like the first time I met her through Alina, who's been on a podcast before, and check out her episode. It's super bomb, and they're best friends. So we were all living in New York at that time, and we had went out to dinner with Melissa, who was also on the podcast. Check out her episode. And I was like, oh my gosh, who is this girl? She's so cute. And so we had really good conversation. We connected well, and then we've just been friends like on social media. She has a daughter, Nori. She's so cute, so spunky, so smart, so well spoken. Oh my gosh, this girl's been here before.
Thank you.
But
PR baby.
yes, PR baby, PR mama, PR baby. But yeah, Chloe knows her stuff. She's very thorough. She's been in the industry for a very long time. And so when Kendra and I were going through like, oh, what should be next on the podcast? We were like, we never had someone in PR in the entertainment business. So this would be really cool to like pick her brain and talk about that. And any moms who want to get into that industry, like this could be a podcast for them. So Chloe, welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
Welcome,
Hello,
Chloe.
ladies. Hi, Devin. Hi, Kendra. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining
For
us.
being here.
Of course.
So,
of course.
Chloe, can you tell us about your journey to mamahood?
Wow. Journey to mamahood. I'm pregnant now, so that's a part of it for sure. So my journey to mamahood, it's been interesting, right? I think I kind of did it a little different, if you will. I focused on career first. I just wanted, not intentionally, but I just, wanted to be at a certain place with my career so that I could be the best mom possible. And so I've been in the entertainment industry now I actually just celebrated my 15-year anniversary in New York. So I've been in the entertainment industry for 15 years after I graduated from the illustrious Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. I moved to New York and I've been in the entertainment. Yeah, I've been in entertainment for 15 years now. Started my career at Essence, where I worked for 5 years. On the PR side. So I had a chance to work on the magazine and Essence Festival, all things the Essence brand when they were under Time Inc. And then I left there and went and worked at Revolt, Diddy's television network. So I was there for about 3 to 4 years, leading PR for the network and the Revolt Music Conference, and a lot of different original programming, things that had going on. And then when I left there, I went over to BT, where I am now the Senior Director of Corporate Communications, where I lead PR for all of our tentpoles. So when you're watching BT Awards, the NAACP Awards on BT, you see the beautiful red carpet. I work with my counterpart, and I kind of lead all things red carpet, all things PR when it comes to our tentpoles, and a lot of our original programming that we do with Tyler Perry. And I also lead PR for BT Her, which is our sister network. So never a dull moment. But in the midst of me taking the job at BET, I think not even a year in, I got blessed with and got pregnant with my baby girl. I got married first, and then my husband got me pregnant on my honeymoon. And then I have my little girl I have now who's three going on 13, as I like to say. And we were blessed with a second pregnancy, a little boy who my daughter affectionately calls Baby Rabbit, who's due in November. So my journey to motherhood has not it has not been one that's by the books, but it's been by my book, if I could say that for sure.
Yes,
I love that. And see, y'all, I told y'all she was thorough. Look at all those
this whole
companies she worked
plan,
for.
like boom, boom,
Right.
boom, and all the
Right.
milestones in your career.
Yes,
Thank
resume
you.
is checked. Okay. Love that. Love that. Love that. So you shared your journey to motherhood. You shared working for these major companies. How do you balance being in a high level position and being a mom, as well as like your role as a PR person? Like, what does that look like for you? Is it a such thing as balance? Like, how does that look? How does your day look?
I think there's a such thing as balance and there's a such thing as boundaries, right? And I think it's important to,
Mm,
like, when I took the role at BET, again, I was engaged at the time, about to get married. But it's also important to know where you are in life and like what your next, when you're looking for your next position. Okay, who do you want to work for, right? So it was important for me. I report to the amazing Janine Lyberg, but she's very family oriented. And so when you're looking to work at a company, you want to make sure the person that you're going to be reporting to is someone who understands family values and realizes that you may not have a baby right now, but you're going to have one day, and you're going to have to take a sick day because kids get sick, right?
mm,
Or that maternity leave is maternity leave. And when you're checked out, you checked out, and they respect that and they encourage you to do those things. Or when your nanny cancels and you're like, well, I need to come to the office, she's like, bring the baby with you. So I think it's really important to work for someone and report to someone who understands family and work balance, but also who encourages it, right? Because you sometimes find yourself in situations, and I've been in situations like that before, having a family, where you work for someone and they're like so zoned in on their job and just kind of micromanaging and managing, and they could care less about anything else when it comes to family or whatever. And then those are the people that end up like 60 and bitter with no husband, no kids, nothing, because they've thrown their entire lives into their career. And some people, that's what they want, but that wasn't what was for me. So the first thing that was really important to me is just making sure that I took a position that allowed me to find that balance. And I honestly, any of my friends, like you guys mentioned, Alina and a few of my other friends, they will tell you that I was born to be a mom, like hands down. I grew up around kids. My grandmother had a home daycare all my life, still does to this day at 82. I don't know how she does it. So I
Oh,
was
bless her.
always, yeah. I don't like, I have her genes, but she's like a superwoman on a whole nother level. But I always felt like mommyhood was in my DNA. And my daughter is my world. So, if I have to bring her and tell my husband, like, hey, I'm doing the BET Awards, bring Nuri, and your mom will come out. And the family support is important too. So, like, tell your mom to come, and she can watch the baby while you take some meetings with some clients down here in our work. Because I think it's important for her to see what I do as well. So it's just having boundaries. Like, like if she comes upstairs and I'm working from home and it's 6:30, I'm like, close the computer. What I didn't get to today, I'll get to. But then I also know I have pockets of time in the year where I'm doing a major show where I'm like, mommy can take a 2-hour break at 6:30, put her down, and then, or my husband will put her down, and then get back to work. But then also my husband, again, he's so helpful with like just helping manage when I'm in a moment in my year where it's just hectic, helping manage our daughter and kind of, being like, mommy's busy, she'll come when she can. But I think it's really about having boundaries as well, for sure.
I
it's
love
good.
how you include your daughter in your family when you need to. in your work, because work doesn't go away, unfortunately. But you all have found a way to include them in your space, if you have to. Like,
Mm-hmm.
working in your industry, I can imagine that it's busy. Like, the entertainment world doesn't stop, and you have to have the flexibility, I would imagine, to still be a wife and be a mom, but also be who you are in your position at work. So I love that you have kind of found that balance, or really, I guess, established that boundary that communicates that if I need to bring my family here to get this work done, I will do that. So
And
I love that.
one of the yeah, and one of the things, so you
Um,
have to be unapologetic about it, right? Like Nuri will hop on a Zoom call.
mhm,
She knows most of my coworkers. She's like, "Hey, so and so, hey, so and so," and they know, like, she's a pandemic baby. So I think the just being on Zoom and all of that kind of changed things. Before, you would be so like embarrassed that your baby was crying in the background and you were working. But it was like, well, look, I can't go outside. I'm home. I can't expect for at that time a 1.5-year old to understand mommy's on the call and you have to be quiet. No, I'm actually in her space because I should be at work in the office, right? And so at first I
Right.
would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. But the reality of it is that no, I'm not. This is a child. This is what they do. Like, I mean, obviously it can't be excessive where it's like she's screaming like crazy or whatever. But like 9 times out of 10, if you know me and you see me, whether it's on the red carpet, like I could be standing at the top of the red carpet, I kid you not. Probably 9 out of 10 people will be like, Nuri's mom, I'm no longer Chloe, I'm Nuri's mom. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that they know who she is. They know how important she is to me. So even when people call me late, they're like, hey, is Nuri down? So I think you have to make people come into your world and go by your terms, as opposed to,
mhm.
sneaking off and answering the phone. No, if you call me at 8 o'clock, I'm with my daughter. So if you want to talk, we can talk, but just know that I'm giving her my attention as well. And that's what I mean by being unapologetic
Absolutely.
about being a mother.
Yeah,
That was good.
because
That
that
was
doesn't
really
go
good.
away either.
No.
So Chloe, you've worked in this industry, you said, for, I guess, you're close to 15 years now, and you were pretty established before having your daughter. But have you seen a shift, I guess, in your creative processes and the way you kind of navigate work since you've had your daughter?
Um, I think because time is so valuable and you want to cherish every moment with your child. I've learned, you know, NPR is always important to work really smart about what you do. Stay up with technology, with the trends and things like that. So I find myself doing that more.
Mm-hmm.
Like and because press releases are still here, pitching and all of those things. So really just evaluating what needs to get done and working smarter about getting it done faster so that I have more time on the back end to spend with my daughter, right? Like she's in a million and one activities.
Mm-hmm.
So weekends are very valuable for our relationship and me taking her to dance class. I'm a dance mom, I'm a tennis mom, I'm a gymnastics mom, a swim mom, all of these things. And the girl is only 3. So I'm like, it's important for me to balance that and make sure that I have time to be there for those moments, but then also making sure that I'm still good at what I do, right? Like I think, one of the things that I know that's gotten me to the position that I'm in is my brand, right? My brand being how people value me at work, how people see me, how they respect me, how they speak up for me in rooms that I'm not in. That's very valuable to me. That's pretty much how I've gotten every position that I've had. And I think, continuing that is important, but it's also important to be a good mom. And so I don't want to be that person that I'm a great mom, but then I'm like, well, she don't do this at work. She doesn't do this at work, or vice versa. So I think just working smarter and understanding, that it's okay to lean on coworkers. My coworkers are amazing. I work with some fellow FAMUans as well, and some other folks who are parents. So they get it, and they're like, "Girl, you 6 months pregnant. I got you on this, or I'm 7 months now, but like BT Awards, I believe I was like 3 or 4 months, and they were bringing me food and like, well, you don't have to stand up on the top of the carpet. I'm gonna get you a chair or whatever. So just tapping into the people that are around you, but also understanding how to like navigate what you're really good at, but just and get it done faster, with the same quality of work, but just a little bit faster and smarter, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I know I've
It's a
had
lot
to
of
make some
sense.
shifts in the way I think and do things since becoming a mom. So I get it, but it's
Yeah.
good to hear your response to that, especially in such a busy industry like the entertainment world.
Right. So I do have a question. Something you said a little bit earlier. You chose career first and then family. So let's
Mhm.
talk about that a little bit because I think for our generation, like that is a thing. Like I'm going to establish myself. I went to school for so many years. I worked really hard for my degree. I have dreams and aspirations too. Yes, a family fits into that, but I am career driven, and I think that's okay as women. But I think sometimes there's like a bad stigma with that, like, ooh, you're not gonna be able to have kids, or ooh, you're not gonna find a man, ooh, you're overqualified. Those type of
Mm.
mindsets. So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's dive into that. Like, was it difficult for you and for you to find I guess a spouse or a partner who wasn't intimidated by you? How did you guys meet? What did that look like for you? Because I feel like this is a story of women in our generation. We are waiting later to have children, to get married, to do all those things. And I don't want anybody listening to this to lose hope because I feel like you could be the poster mom for that. Like, yes, I chose my career. I still have my husband and I still have my
Still got my
kids
kids.
and I'm
Right.
still successful. So let's talk about
Yeah.
that a little bit. I know that was long winded. My bad.
No, you're good. I think it's so funny because I have this ongoing joke about how like people, some friends had kids in their 20s, and I was like, dang, what are you doing? Whatever, whatever. Like, and now their kids are in high school and I'm sitting here pregnant with a baby, old as hell. But anyway. um Um, but no, I think, but one of the things is that you find in like your mom, your grandma, your auntie, your great auntie, everybody, like when you starting to hit 30, you're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And there's this pressure to become a mom and to become a wife. And you're like, I'm still figuring out who I am. Like, how am I gonna be something to a whole husband and a child when I still haven't fully identified what my purpose is in this world, right? Like whether it be career, spiritually, just on a lot of different levels. And so a lot of times that pressure gets to us, and then we, go through so many things as far as depression and things like that because we put ourselves in positions we weren't ready for, right? And not to say that you have to be, because people get pregnant every day, right? They have children every day, which is a blessing. And not to say that you have to have all your ducks in a row, but I think there is a benefit to making sure that you are in the right place on a lot of different levels before you kind of step into marriage and children and all of that, and like the things I'm able to provide my daughter, right? I couldn't afford a nanny at 20 something. Like, let's be very clear. You know what I mean? Hell, I couldn't probably even afford daycare. I would have moved back to Chicago and my grandma would have been babysitting the baby. But I think I say that to say it's really important, and it's just about what you want. Like some people, they meet the love of their lives at 20 something. Like Devin, you said, like you mentioned, you met me in New York. I was running these New York streets at 20 something. The last thing I was thinking about was, getting married and having a child. I was, going to parties and networking and just trying to see where I fit into the city. And now I'm living this New Jersey suburban life, which you couldn't have told me I would have been doing 5 years ago. Let's be very clear. But I am. But yeah, I think it's different things for different people. But I think the longer you wait, the more, and also what's important, the more you see the BS that's out there with men, right? The older you get. Because if you're in your 20s, you're still learning men. You're still learning what you like, what you don't like. You're still learning, you're like the signs of who's fake, who's this and who's that. And so what we all know, with time comes experience. And so you tend to get older, and then your BS radar is on another level, right? And so, when I met my husband, you asked that too. And when I met my husband, I met him through a coworker of mine at Revolt. And we dated for 2 years. But I mean, when we first started, our first date, he was like, "How much you want to bet I'm going to marry you?" I'm like, "This dude would think he got good game." I was like, "Whatever." I was like, I've been in New York long enough to know game when I see it, but like,
right.
Here I am, So, and then I had just got out of a really long relationship, I think it was 8 or 9 year relationship. So my thing was like, look, I'm not going to waste my time again. Like, if we're going to do this, we can date, and then you need to propose in 2 years. And he proposed almost 2 years to the date. And we both knew we wanted kids. We both knew, like, we're both family oriented. I knew I wanted a girl. He's getting his boy. And so all of those things were important, but I think but I also knew who I was. I knew who I was showing up as. I knew I had experienced things. There wasn't a part of me that still had this like sense of FOMO, about like, oh, I didn't live or whatever. Like I did what I wanted to do. I had fun. I had a good time. And I was like, okay, now it's time for the next stage in my life. And just giving me time afforded me that, kind of visibility into what I wanted and what was next for me.
Hey y'all. So y'all know when we find out something, we like to share, right?
Yes.
So we are podcasters. I won't say we vets in the game, but we're not super new, and we're always learning about new things to enhance our audio, our video, and we came across Riverside.
Yes, we were introduced to this platform from a fellow podcaster, and we were previously using a platform that we thought was good, but it was just okay. The outcome was just okay. So we were introduced to this platform, and we have thoroughly enjoyed Riverside.
Yes, absolutely. The audio is much clearer. It doesn't give you that like, oh, I'm on a virtual recording. Yeah. It's pretty relative easy to use, especially for us. If we can work it, anybody can work it. And then it also uses AI to help you like edit your videos and give you magic tools and give you little captions you can create on Instagram and social media. So it's really helpful, and we highly recommend it.
Yeah. So check out Riverside if you're in the podcast world, or even if you are in the virtual world with classes or conferences, any sorts of virtual platforms. Riverside is a great tool to put in your pocket.
So check the link in our bio.
Bye.
Bye.
For sure.
Wow, you said a mouthful there, and that BS radar, you were so right about that, because Kendra and I was just talking today how we just don't have time for it, and whether that's like in a platonic relationship with friends, or I mean, we've been out the game for a long time when it comes to like dating and stuff, but just like the BS people put on, like I used to tolerate so much and used to be like a people pleaser and just trying to keep the peace, and now I'm like, I don't care. You mad? Cool. Like, you get over it,
Yeah.
So it's just like, the older you get, the more you can weed out, and you just have less patience for it. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So
people think you're being mean, and you're not. And it's just like, no, baby boy, I've been there, done that. Not doing it again.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Right.
That's so true.
That was a good question, Devin.
Thank you.
So, Chloe, now that you are in this role or have this life with a husband and 2 kids, one on the way, or 1 kid and 1 on the way, I should say.
Girl, one on the way, 1 in the house, because this is it.
Hey, that's
down.
And I don't want to confuse
don't put no more kids on me.
1 kid, 1 on the way, so 2 total.
Yes.
But when you think about just, where you are in life now, with your career still thriving, but you still have a family that you are loving on and caring for, like, how does your existing family and friends kind of support you and your husband with pursuing your dreams, because your dreams don't stop now that you have kids. So how does your, I guess, your community or village, so to speak, support you all?
Oh my gosh, they are amazing. I'm originally from Chicago, the South Side of Chicago. Let's be very clear, not the suburbs, but the South Side. Because a lot of people like to say they're from Chicago, but they're like from Naperville. I'm from the South Side of Chicago. No disrespect. Love y'all too, but just saying. So for me, my family is there, but my family will jump on a flight in a heartbeat to come and be with me or Nuri. They call. I talk to my mother every day. There's not a morning that Nuri and I don't FaceTime my mom, and she says good morning. I talk to my grandmother every day. Nuri calls her big grandma. And it's such a blessing because she still has her great grandmother and great grandfather on her maternal side here. And then my husband, he's from Brooklyn. So his whole community lives in Brooklyn. He's Dominican. And so my mother-in-law doesn't speak English. So we kind of struggle to communicate, and we swear we know what each other's saying. But then my husband be like, what'd she just say? And I'll tell him, he was like, oh my God, that is not what she said. But the love is there. But what I will tell you is she's an amazing woman. Who will come here, watch Nuri anytime I need. I remember when I first had Nuri and the lockdown was lifted, she would take Nuri for us every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She would take her every weekend. And so I would have her during the week. She would take her during the weekend. Now we live in Jersey, so that's not possible. But anytime we call her, she'll take her granddaughter, and she'll hang out with her cousins and her TTs and tias and all of that, and come back saying Spanish words. I have no clue sometimes what she's saying, but hey, I'm like my little bilingual baby. So but yeah, so we have his family, my sister-in-laws, like everything. We have a village on his side, and then my friends are just top notch. Like all of my friends that I have, they've been in my life. One of my best friends who I was with yesterday, she's from Chicago and she lives in the Bronx with her family. We've been best friends for almost since my freshman year in high school. So I'm not gonna age myself for 20 something years.
We got you, girl.
We got you.
But and then I have another two girlfriends who are best friends of mine who I worked at Essence with, and I have my college girlfriends, Chastity and Alina. I really am blessed with amazing friends who I can lean on when it comes to career advice, marriage advice. I can definitely call Alina for some good child advice. So it's important, I think, to have those people in your life, because you can't do this alone. You can't do it alone. And then even just days where I just feel so overwhelmed, like with this pregnancy, because baby boy is taking everything out of me, where you just want to call a friend and cry and rant. My husband today, he came in the room, he was like, you okay? I was like, yes, I'm just pregnant and moody. I'm fine. But he doesn't understand that. It's that pregnant women have an attitude for no reason sometimes. Yeah. But my girlfriends do, right? But people, honestly, just people who pray for you when you don't even know that they're praying for you. That's so important. And our kids grow up together, and I see all of these memes about like explaining to your child why they call this lady auntie and y'all aren't related. That's Nuri. Right. Nuri has about 10 aunties that we are not blood related, but blood couldn't make us any closer, right?
Right.
And that's her village, and she knows that. And I know that when she grows up, they'll be in her corner. She'll go to them and maybe talk to them if she feels like she can't talk to me, and that's important. So I definitely have that village, and I'm forever grateful for that, for sure.
That was a great answer. Important. Yes, it really is.
Goodness.
Yes, because I'm a military spouse, so our friends become family a lot because we move around way too much. So I remember my mom, she was like, "Well, I'm gonna just move where y'all at." I'm like, "You gonna move every 2 years, so just stay where you at," because it don't make sense. By the time you get here, it's gonna be time for you to go. So don't follow us, follow one of your other kids. But so to that mama who is trying to like make her mark in the PR world or in the entertainment industry, like what is your advice for her?
You know, my advice now will probably be completely different for someone who would ask me that question like 5 years ago, right?
Okay.
Because so much has changed. And everybody, oh my gosh, everybody is a publicist now,
Mm-hmm.
or claims to be a publicist, or claims to have clients and things like that. So it's really, I mean, I've always said who you know will get you in the door and what you know will keep you there. I think that's really important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just networking. Like, one of my favorite sayings to children that I speak to in like college, I shouldn't say children, young adults that I speak to in college, is like your network is your net worth. And this industry really has become about who you know at this point. You know what I mean? Like I've met some people and I'm like, they gotta know somebody because there's no way they got this job in LA. but that's why I also say what you know will keep you there. But I think, networking, for sure with in internships, honestly, I think that's one thing that will never be outdated, a good internship. How I discovered that I wanted to work in PR was doing internships while I was in college. And so I spent 2 summers in New York, my first one working at the NBA, and realized I did not want to work in sports. It was cute, but it wasn't my thing. And then I worked at Vibe. It was Vibe magazine at the time. And that's when I realized that's when I wanted to work in entertainment. But I networked while I was there. Was the first one in the door, the last one out. I wore my SBI suit, Rattlers know. I wore my SBI suit every day while everybody else had on jeans. So it became a thing. Like when I think it was one time I was out of town for like a family reunion, something, and our manager kept just calling everybody Chloe. He's like, Chloe, well, girl, you know who I'm talking to, because I stood out. I was always there. I always, dressed up, played the part or whatever. And I say that to say, internships are, I mean, I cannot express those enough. And then if you are out of college, just, having coffee with people. Like a lot of people reach out to me and just say, hey, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my career. Can I pick your brain? Treat someone to coffee, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Everybody has that. Everybody wants to go to Starbucks and have a latte on somebody else, no matter how much money you're making. So
Right.
I would say definitely doing that as well, and just picking people's brain and kind of standing out, and then following up and being like, hey, let me know if you need somebody to work a red carpet and volunteer to do things, and then they can see like your work ethic, what you bring to the table, and then potentially if they know of something or know of someone that's looking for a job, they can say, hey, I have this young person that's really hungry and eager to learn, maybe you should choose them, right? And so that's what I would say to young people that are just coming into the industry, and then people that are already in the industry. I mean, there are women that I work for, obviously, BET, which is a Paramount company. There are women within the company that reach out to me and just say, I've seen you around the building or heard about you. Would you mind mentoring me? And they're already in their career, but they may want to go from production to PR. So just kind of just seeing who's around you and who's and not making, when you reach out to someone, one-sided, right? Because nobody just wants to be a person's mentor because and don't gain anything from it. It should be two-sided, right? Networking should be two-sided. So always offer something valuable for that person's time, whether it be volunteering or checking up on them, or having a conversation with them and hearing that they're like, I can be like, oh, I got to find this for Nuri, and then send me a few links to make my life easier, something like that, just to bring value, because that person's probably adding value to you by having, given their time, which is very valuable and limited, and giving you, potentially connecting you with some of their resources and all of that. So you want to be able to add value back to them because it goes a long way, for sure.
Have to be reciprocated.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
And a lot of people forget that. They just want to email people or talk to them and want. But a lot of people just feel like they get taken advantage of, right? And it's like, yeah, I've been in the industry for a while and I'm knowledgeable of certain things, but I also just don't want to talk to 5 people and keep just answering the same questions about, how can I help you? Like, it has to be reciprocated. And then you'd be surprised how far that relationship goes when it is. I have a mentee, who's been my mentee for, I think like 3 years now. She went to him, no, longer than that, like 5 years now. And she's one of the people that I've kept in touch with because she calls and checks up on me. She doesn't just call me when she needs something. She'll call me for career advice, but she'll call and check up on me. She'll call and check up on Nuri. She'll see if we need anything. She'll be like, hey, I'm in town. I'm doing Comic-Con. Do you want to bring Nuri? You know what I mean? Just things like that I'm like, oh, sure. I've never been. Let me bring my daughter. But she's just not only calling me when she needs something. She's also like checking in on me or adding value to our relationship. So that's important.
Love that.
It really is. It is. Well, thank you, Chloe, for just being a wealth of knowledge for our listeners. And Rattler women, it's something special about us. It's something real special. I wasn't an SBI, but I know how y'all are. Y'all wore suits, every Wednesday? I forgot which day it was. But thank you so much for your presence. And it's great to see successful Black women in the entertainment industry. And you're doing a phenomenal job as a mama, too, and a wife. So God bless you.
Yes.
Well, to a point, the question you asked earlier, it takes a village. Like, I couldn't do this by myself. Like, my husband, he's amazing at helping with our little girl and our village and my friends, and, just working with amazing people that understand, like, work is work and life is life. And sometimes they intertwine, and other times you like, life is way more important right now. So I'm holler at work in a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really important to kind of have that balance, but also surround yourself with people that understand that balance and respect it more importantly. So that's important.
Right.
Indeed.
So is your husband in the entertainment industry as well?
So my husband is kind of, sort of. He's in sports.
Okay.
I actually was drinking my water and his logo came up. I was like, I'm not giving his job a free promo. But so he works for Excel Sports. So it's a sports management company. And so they manage athletes, but also they work with brands, a lot of different sports brands across different leagues. And so he works with, they sell like naming rights to stadiums, to he's probably downstairs listening to me like, girl, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know what I do. But they sell naming rights to like stadiums and jerseys. So like a lot of multi-million-dollar deals that he has the opportunity to work on. So he is just as busy. I'm not even going to say he's like probably 5 times more busy than me, if that's even possible. But we just, we tag team and kind of find a balance for sure. Yeah.
But that's good because that means he gets it, right? Because y'all have similar careers, not exactly the same, but still kind of like that entertainment field. And so y'all get each other. So I think that's actually perfect how that worked out.
No, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
We definitely, he knows like when it's busy season for me and vice versa. Like this week is crazy. So he's been like, he puts her down for bedtime every night anyway, but just been, a lot more hands-on with dinner and things like that while I'm like up late doing email. So and then I know when he's like, traveling or things like that, like how to basically try to tap in help or ask his mom to come over or whatever. So, but yeah. And he travels a lot. So that can be, I know he better sit down because this baby coming, soon. But
sit on down.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for your time, too. I mean, you took time to talk to us on the pod about your life and your busy season. So we appreciate that. So with that being said, friend, what are we drinking for Mama Juice? And I know it's a mocktail because we got a pregnant mama on here. So what we drinking?
So we have the mock in the cocktail version. But because Chloe is an expecting mama, we have to start with our mocktail. Yes. And the name of our drink is called Lights, Camera, Action.
Oh, I like that.
And obviously it is inspired by Chloe and her line of work and just the amazing mama and wife she is. She's living a lights, camera, action lifestyle. So that is the name of our drink. And what it has, this is the mocktail. It has 2 ounces of fresh lemon juice, a half an ounce of agave, 2 ounces of rose water. It's topped with soda water, and you garnish it with a lemon slice and edible flower. For the cocktail, which is, it has
which I can have in the
Yeah, she's
We
like,
got you
oh,
after you had the baby.
window,
Yeah.
like about
We got
5
you.
more months. But go ahead. So
Like,
I'm
let it
writing
be
both down.
known.
Let's be very
Let it be
clear.
clear that I'm gonna have my cocktail after this baby. But it has an ounce of fresh lemon juice, a half an ounce of agave, 2 ounces of tequila, 2 ounces of rose water, and it is garnished with the lemon slice and edible flower.
It's
So
really
the
good,
action
y'all.
is the tequila. That's the action. Yes. But you can have vodka or gin as your spirit too. So it's a good drink.
It's good.
Lights,
It's
camera,
good.
action.
And it's not too much because, Kendra make those strong drinks sometimes. But this is
Well,
good.
not like a good. You gonna give me a beverage? Give me a beverage.
You
No,
can
that
have all
sounds
of it.
really good. I'm definitely going to do the mocktail
Yeah.
this weekend.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. But now
So-
I'm going to just have my water. But I'll
Yeah,
definitely
that's
just-
fine.
We got
Hydrate, So if this is your
Yes.
first time listening, we have another segment called Mama's Corner. And so this is our opportunity to be reflective or answer a question that our listener wrote in. And so we have an additional question for you. And that is, how do you take care of yourself? What does self-care look like for you? You're so busy mama, busy wife, busy co-worker, employee. Like, how does Chloe
Mentor.
take mentor, everything? How does Chloe take care of herself?
So the first thing, I'm gonna say this really low because my husband's gonna be like, "You said that." I like to shop. Like I really like to shop.
You are a fly. You got
And
the good
then
fashion
God,
finds.
and then God went and gave me a girl. Lord have mercy. So I just, but no, I'm not joking. I was gonna say I was joking, but I'm not. I love to shop, so that
Okay.
is like a stress reliever for me. But more, but the real answer to your question is spending time with my girlfriends, right? Like just escaping just everything, like with work and just everything that's going on around me, and just spending time with my girlfriends, hanging out, talking, being honest, just having like haven't had a glass of wine in a while, but having like a glass of wine with them, or going to like a spa with them, or like we'll sometimes we'll do like a spa and then a dinner, or just find like a show to go to or something like that. So a lot of times just like spending time with my girlfriends, and then traveling. I love traveling. We just came back from DR a couple of weeks ago, and so sometimes now that Nuri's older, I'm okay with leaving her, and like my husband and I were going on vacation. So we've had a few cool trips this year, before I got pregnant. But those are like my 3 things, right? Like shopping is just, it allows me to be creative and like just kind of be carefree and a little irresponsible at times. And then girlfriends just allow me to just kind of release and relax and reflect and just have like heart-to-heart conversations, talk about things with them that are serious or not so serious, and just kind of let your hair down, have some and complain about your kids. You love them, but you want to complain about them anyway.
It happens every
Then
day.
you miss them, and then you don't want to be around them at the same time.
Judged. Exactly,
Right.
without being judged, and be like, let me tell you what this damn girl did. So that, and then again, traveling. Those are my 3. And traveling, we love to travel. And then it's been fun though, bringing Nuri's places, because now that she's older, she understands, like, when she's on a plane and where she's going, and like teaching her about different cultures and things like that. So excited for when baby boy gets here and he can tag along, but also excited for those times where, we leave them back and we can go to Vegas and see Usher or whatever, So traveling is definitely a way that we relax, and you just kind of close the computer, or don't bring your computer with you. But that never happens for me for whatever reason. But that's gonna, you know what, that's gonna be my goal for 2024 on the next vacation, to not bring the laptop with me. That's gonna be
there we go.
All right.
But yeah, those are kind of the three ways I like to relax, for sure.
Love that. Love that.
We'll hold you accountable on that.
Yeah, we will. We will.
We see you on vacation. Like, you got
we're
that
gonna DM you.
I know, right?
Send me a screenshot. I want to make sure. Send me a picture. But
Yes.
this was awesome. So, Chloe, if people want to connect with you more, how can they get in contact with you? Anything you want to, it could be a social media, email, whatever works for you.
Yeah, you can reach out to me. Like, I do check my DMs all the time. Reach out to me on Instagram, Miss Chloe L, MSCHLOEELLE. I would say that's probably the best way, and then I can follow up with my email address, my personal or my work if it's work related. But I would say that's the best way, and it's kind of like I'm kind of an open book on social media. You kind of see my husband, you see my daughter, kind of see our lives. I'm always, even though Nuri has completely taken over my Instagram, it's no longer my page.
Right.
So if you want to see a little spunky 3-year-old, feel free to follow me. But yeah, I would say that's definitely the best way.
Love it.
Sounds
Love
good.
it. Well, again, this was awesome, Chloe. Thank you for your time. And until next time, mamas.